to give some background on ancient Greece.
Athens was a Greek city-state that had once been ruled by a few powerful aristocratic leaders and sometimes by tyrants. In the year 500 BC, Athens created a democracy based on the idea of citizenship. Although the number of citizens was limited, Athens became the first democracy in the Mediterranean world. This form of government lasted 172 years, from 500 BC to 330 BC.
Citizenship was limited to free men who owned property. Women, slaves, foreigners, and men without property were not citizens. Modern ideas of democracy, including the rule of law, majority rule, and the idea of government run by the people, developed in this ancient Greek city. At the time of Socrates, Athens was a city of about 400,000 people, and about 250,000 people were slaves. Athens has made a great power increase with a great deal of wealth, a powerful navy, and a successful army. Athens was eventually defeated by other city-states led by Sparta in 404 BC. This Peloponnesian War lasted 27 years, and Athens never regained its former power or influence.
Socrates was one of the most famous citizens of Athens. He was known for his learning and was regarded as a great teacher and philosopher. He was also an eccentric thinker, and his ideas were sometimes regarded as dangerous to Athens. He challenged conventional beliefs about Greek religion and distrusted the motivations and behaviors of its elected officials. Socrates had a rocky relationship with his unhappy wife, who often was loud and angry because he didn't earn an income. The setting for our play is Athens, Greece, in the year 399 BC. Officials in the city have charged the philosopher Socrates with disrespect toward the Greek gods who are part of the religious and social heritage of the city. He has also been accused of corrupting the youth of the city by encouraging them to question authority and accepted beliefs.
Socrates was one of the most famous citizens of Athens, a once powerful Greek city-state that had been defeated by its enemies. Socrates was a brave, competent soldier in his youth, but a small house and inheritance, and did not work for a living. He spent most of his adult life wandering the streets discussing politics, the meaning of life, religion, philosophy, and current events. He upset the political leaders and public officials of Athens because many of the questions he asked either made fun of them or challenged their decisions. He has been brought before a group of citizens who will serve as his judges and determine his fate.
Socrates, citizens of Athens, you are brought to trial before 501 of your fellow citizens serving as your judges. The charges against you are these. First, you are accused of believing in other Greek gods than the Greek deities that have protected Athens throughout our history. Second, you are charged with corrupting the young people of Athens with your ideas. Do you understand the charges?
I understand the charges, but not why I've been charged.
Is it not true that you often criticize the actions of the government and the leaders of Athens? You constantly speak to all manner of citizens, residents, and even slaves about the issues of the day. And you are extremely critical. You disparage the motives of the leaders of our great city. How do you plead?
I was a soldier throughout the wars of my youth when Athens fought Sparta and the other Greek city-states allied against us. Our failure to win was partially due to the self-interest of our leaders and the lack of military skill of those men. The officials of Athens looked to their own interests rather than to the welfare of all. They desired re-elections, extra profits for their businesses, more slaves, and warfare with our neighbors.
You all heard his words. He's still demeaning the great men who run our city.
Of course, the leaders from the leaders will consider themselves part of the brilliant core leaders who claim to represent the people.
I've heard you insult the gods of Greece on any number of occasions. We have been defeated by our enemies because of the impiety and disbelief of you and your followers. You have encouraged the young men of this city to distrust and be disrespectful of the gods. Do you deny that you follow any other god? I do not disrespect any god, but I do not believe in the gods that we recite upon Mount Olympus. They do not even agree with each other on most things if you listen to the priests.
I do believe in one powerful God of the universe. I follow a voice within myself that helps me determine right from wrong. I trust that inner voice more than any God. You could hear the blasphemy with your own ears. How does a man hear voices unless he has drunk too much wine?
Even the oracle at Delphi, who is in touch with the gods, told me there is no man wiser than Socrates. Are you the wisest man of all?
I do not believe the oracle. I am not a wise person. I just love wisdom. I know nothing compared to the whole book can be learned. I seek wisdom from every person I meet. I'm a philosopher. The meaning of philosophy is to love knowledge, and knowledge leads to wisdom. Sometimes we should immediately go in search of a man more intelligent than I to prove the gods are wrong.
His very words insult the gods.
My teacher, Socrates, believes the only way to find truth is to believe you know nothing. It is not an instance of the gods. It is simple humility. He is the most intelligent man I've ever known.
Socrates, do you wish to throw yourself at the mercy of these judges and possibly save your own life? If I had wished to seek mercy, I would have brought my wife and children to bed with me. I did not choose to do so.
It's a good thing he didn't bring his wife. She's forever nagging and screaming at the poor man in her loud, thundering voice. One time, she set a jug of water over a door and it fell on his head. Of course, Socrates made a joke of it. He said it always rains after it thunders.
You have also been accused of disrespect towards Athens. Are you a true citizen of Athens?
I am not just a citizen of Athens or even of Greece. I'm a citizen of the world. That is nonsense. No one is a citizen of the world. You must either be with us or against us. You ignore your wife and do not work. Everyone has heard the loud and continuous complaints of your wife. Now this is true. If you marry a good woman, your life will be filled with joy. If you marry a nagging woman, you may become a philosopher. You be found daily wandering the streets, talking to people, especially adult youth. Your endless questions disturb the peace of their unsettled minds. These questions are discussed by many citizens and sow dissension among the people. You challenge the very political system you live under. Your remarks will stir up insurrection and revolt among slaves and people without property. You have offended most of the powerful people of Athens with your endless questions. If I do not question, I cannot learn. My purpose in life is to seek what I do not know and spread what I do know to others. Don't you, all of you, feel ashamed of what you do not know? The very soul of man seeks knowledge.
We have heard enough of this man's testimony. His own words condemn him. Let the judges be counted.
A total of 281 of the 501 citizens who served as judges in the trial of Socrates were for his guilt and disrespect towards the gods. The punishment was death, but often exile from the city was offered instead.
Do you wish to ask for exile from Athens instead of the death sentence that has been handed down?
No. I believe in the law, even when it is wrong. The law is not perfect, but it must guide the way I live. Today, you may judge me, but in the future, history will judge you.
It is my good fortune to have been born in Socrates' lifetime and to have been his student. He is the most honorable man of all of Athens.
Socrates was allowed to drink the cup of hemlock, a deadly poison. He died peaceably, believing that death would free his spirit.
Our announcers and narrators were played by Jonathan Munoz, David Gillette, Lizzie Anthony, Jocelyn Perez, and me, Mia Prada. Our juries were played by Nathan Tovar, Dylan Lowry, Ariane Tupou, Amanda Villanueva, Brian Heil, Lily Odell, Irina Joe, Austin Oliver, and Aiden Vanda. Our main cast was Melitis as Anita Guerrera, Anitas as Alexandra Dabrowski, Plato as Luke Ramos, Vicon as Katie McCoy, and Chevron as Johnny Juarez. And finally, Socrates was played by Nicholas Duran.